Well, certainly the death of a loved one can be traumatic enough, but it's often followed by financial strain to boot. But if they were involved in a crash, Michigan's no-fault insurance provides some protection for the family. Tom Sinas joining us now, breaking down the benefits that dependents can receive after, God forbid, an untimely death like that.
So, Derek, you and I talked a few weeks ago about the lost income component that's part of our no-fault system. And as I reflected on our talk, I realized we got a little bit rushed when we were talking about how that benefit works in cases of death.
Okay.
The basic point here is that when someone tragically passes in a car accident, there are a certain group of people that can receive some short-term economic support from their auto insurer. Okay, who are these people? The law calls them dependents of the deceased. It's important to remember that we're not using dependents like you use it
in
on
your tax reform. For sure, a little different, okay.
It's different. So, who are dependents? Well, for sure, spouses and children. The statute tells us those people are deemed conclusively to be dependents of the person who passed.
Okay.
Can other people be dependents? The answer is it really depends on each individual case, but oftentimes yes. So for example, if an adult is taking care of their elderly and infirm parent, and what if the adult passes away? Can the elderly parent claim that they were a dependent of the deceased?
Sure.
And I think the answer is yes.
Okay.
But you have to be a dependent. If you're not a dependent, then these benefits aren't available. Make sense?
Yes. Hey, his paycheck, his or her paycheck, was helping support me in some way, financially.
That's exactly right, which brings us to our next point. What is it that the dependents get? The dependents can claim what's called tangible things of economic value. What does that mean? Well, it means what you just referenced. First, it's the after-tax income that the deceased would have earned. Second, it's the value of lost fringe benefits.
Okay.
And third, we have a component here to replace some of the household services that the deceased person used to perform and obviously can't anymore. Okay. We roll all those up into one benefit that's called survivor's loss.
Nice.
And those benefits are paid to the dependents. Now, this doesn't continue forever.
Right.
Okay. What's important to remember is it continues for up to 3 years.
Okay.
So what happens after 3 years? Well, this is a similar concept that we talked about with lost wages for people who survive. After 3 years, the economic loss from death is the responsibility of whoever caused the accident. Okay, this is where we move away from our no-fault component and to what we call our liability component. So if someone else is responsible for the death, then it's very important for those dependents to pursue that claim, because after 3 years, the no-fault insurer will no longer be providing those survivor's loss benefits.
Okay.
So you really have these two things that are interrelated, and they matter both in the short term and in the long term.
Very interesting stuff, traumatic stuff, but it's certainly important to learn about.
It absolutely is, and it's not something that it's easy to guess on, so be sure to educate yourself.
You can track you down at the website, right, the full screen right there?
That's right. Find us online at www.sinusdramis.com. We also have another website that would be helpful for this topic. It's www.autonofaultlaw.com.
Okay.
You can give us a phone call in West Michigan at 616-301-3333 or shoot us an email at info@sinusdramis.com.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, Derek.